Yes, people, hope everyone is doing well. Hope we're all having a blessed day. I wanted to have a call with one of my community members and now good friends, Luke. Well, been a good friend for a while, to be honest. He's been absolutely smashing it over the past couple months. Has a really sick story, which I think a lot of people would resonate with that aren't working with me or are thinking about working with me. Honestly, probably the hardest working guy I know personally. Um, at the moment within this industry. So, yeah, I just want to jump into things with him and give you guys sort of a rundown of his experience before working with me, during working with me, after working with me. Not that he's done working with me. You can know you work with me forever, but that he's sort of stopped jumping on the coaching calls and is sort of fully proficient in his own manner, if I can put it like that. But yeah, Luke, I mean, I guess out the gate, can you just introduce yourself for everyone, sort of your name, well, name, obviously, you can give your surname, your age, what you were doing before working with me.
Cool. So my name's Luke Watson. I'm 20 years old. Before I started setting, I was in the construction industry where I was primarily focusing on gas and plumbing. Pretty much I did that for a year and I realized that it was going to take a lot out of me and it wasn't necessarily it didn't align with the goals that I had. And I pretty much saw what Sana was doing and I decided to reach out to him, had a couple of discussions, and then one thing led to another, and he pretty much helped me discover setting. Yeah, when I got into it,
Awesome.
I knew,
No,
yeah,
I said awesome. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
when I got into it, I knew absolutely nothing about setting. In fact, the message, if I remember right, that I sent him was, "What are you doing to get this?"
Yeah, I remember that. I also remember the first couple calls, bro. It's actually crazy to think. I know we were talking just before we started recording here, but now I'm thinking about it. When the first couple calls you joined and you were like at your girlfriend's place and you're just sitting there and you're like it's so much change from going from knowing nothing about everything to now. But yeah, sick. I'm sure a lot of people watching this are probably in some line of blue collar work themselves and don't see themselves doing it long term. I guess with that, sort of what got you first interested in remote work or, appointment setting specifically, or I know it's something different, but in that line.
Yeah. So to be completely honest, what really got my attention when it came to remote work was the 9 to 5. I know it's quite a commonly used phrase, but I was waking up early in the morning, getting home late at evening, and it wasn't for me. I was realizing that I had little to no time to myself, and that after the day was done, the last thing I wanted to do was do anything productive or fun in that matter. I just wanted to rest and get ready for the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I looked for different avenues and ways that I could escape that boring, repetitive Groundhog Day, and this was it for me.
Sweet. Awesome, bro. So finally, like last sort of the hook questions, I'm asking a bit like of a different questions right at the start here before we go back into the start of things. But what sort of made you finally decide to take action and join Setter Syndicate and start working with me?
What what the deal breaker was for me was definitely getting the opportunity to see everyone else winning. So I didn't at first, like I said, I knew nothing. And obviously, the calls with you, the chats with you, and you just helping me and giving me like unlimited resources pretty much to ensure that I knew what we were speaking about, which was obviously a tremendous help. And then, yeah, just seeing the community that you were building and how you walk through what I'll have access to and how I'll be able to use the tools you're providing to just win at this. Because if you go online, you search appointment setting, you're going to drown.
Yeah.
There's so much information that is quite difficult to take in. So many things that are left like unanswered or like, all right, that's you only get X amount of information. And yeah, I mean, just the way that you explained it, I never once felt lost. And I just thought, you know what, this is the next best step for me. And I decided to take action on that.
Brilliant stuff, bro. Awesome. So, yeah, yeah, there is a lot of rubbish on the internet when it comes to this. It's kind of hard to find what makes sense and what doesn't. But I appreciate that. So we can sort of go into the next part here. Sort of, what was your life like before joining the program, bro? If we take things a step back, with sort of work stress, finances, lifestyle, anything like that.
Um, for me, for me personally, before I started setting and joining Setter Syndicate, it was rough. It was very, very difficult for me. Pretty much every bit of money that I earned or whatever, I couldn't necessarily use it for anything besides what was vital.
Yeah,
Definitely being a part of Setter Syndicate and setting has given me so much freedom in the way that it allows me to have so much fun in comparison. I mean, I've been able to do things this year for myself that I never thought I could do last year. I pretty much checked off almost all the goals that I had for this year, and we've still got a couple months left of the year.
yeah,
It's it's been a wild ride. Yeah, my life before, I mean, when I started doing the plumbing stuff, small things like I couldn't have my gym membership anymore because it was just adding up to too many costs. Lost out on specific things because I needed to focus on what was needed. Couldn't go out as much, even though it's not necessarily necessary, but you couldn't go out every week with your friends.
it is necessary.
Of course, yeah, of course.
Necessary. It is necessary. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Go out with friends, like little things like that,
Mm.
because how little I was getting out of it. Now I can go out every week with my friends. I got the gym membership. I'm actually moving into my own apartment. I'm building up quite quite the life for myself, and it is super exciting. It's super exciting, especially when it comes to setting, and it just feels like it's win after win after win, which is just amazing.
Yeah, for sure, bro. And that's amazing. It's super great to hear. I think what we can dive into also later in the call is sort of that little vacation you're planning for yourself as well, which is pretty sick. Which is exciting stuff. I guess we've covered sort of the past, being a plumber, busting your ass fucking 12, 14, well, not 14, or was it up to 14 hours a day?
It all depended
It
on the day.
depended, right? It was like 8 to 12 hours a day. Um, for pay that wasn't sort of making sense. So it's great to see sort of the transformation, even though I've told you that like a million times. I guess then one thing I was curious on is did you try anything else before you jumped into setting? Because I know you were really urgent on making change.
Yes. So pretty much when I, just as I stopped plumbing right at the end of last year. And for a couple of months, I just pretty much dived into all sorts of content, whether that be, crypto trading, just everything, you kind of just go into YouTube and you search how to make money online. And then it's just, and good friends of mine are involved in the trading space. And the thing about that is that you always needed money there. And quite a large sum, and that was obviously something that I didn't have. And pretty much just searched and searched, and I looked at the whole ecom thing, and that was just a massive, massive thing to get yourself behind, where I feel like that is something that takes time, and time wasn't something I had.
Yeah.
So that's when after a couple months, I actually went over to almost like becoming it's a funny story, becoming my grandfather's personal assistant, whereas he called me, I did it.
Yeah.
If broke or there was an issue at a house or his house or at the office and he needed my help at my family business, whatever, I was there. So I did that for like 3 months while just spending as much time as possible, just discovering different ways that I can escape this lifestyle because it's really not for me. And then that's when I sent you the message. And then from there on, I knew that okay, this is going to be the big change for me.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I mean, yeah, I've said it so many times, but like it's actually fucking crazy now that we talk about it again, how far and how quickly you've made sort of a change. How much faster. Also, I remember that like the initial times we spoke, like your time frames and everything, and how much we've smashed those like in a short space of time, which is awesome. But yeah, sweet. So I guess then, compared to everything else you're looking at, what was sort of the difference for you between those and appointment setting? What made you pull the trigger on appointment setting instead of something else? Was it mainly just the capital?
Um, yes and no. Yes and no. Because what those like when it came to like the e-com drop shipping trading, is that that required a lot of time. Whereas with all of those, you really need to, there's no overnight success stories when it comes to that kind of stuff. It is trial and error until eventually one day you yourself is able to master how that works, right? But
Yeah.
it's in those fields that you are extremely capable of doing so. And that is obviously excluding the whole meme coins section where overnight success is possible. But no, dude, pretty much the reason why I never chose that path instead of setting was purely based on the fact that that was trial and error. Whereas with setting, not only proved by yourself, but by outside content as well. A proven framework is able to provide you with your what's the word outcome of your desire, whatever, as long as you follow it and you have like good discipline in yourself, it is achievable. There's no need
Yeah.
for hopes and dreams or you know cross your fingers or wish that this is going to happen. That's that's why I chose setting because if you actually work hard at it, you can do it. Anyone can do it. It's
Yeah.
not, it's a person. Like half the time it takes a wizard to be able to good at trade, to be good at trading. Whereas with setting, anybody can, as long as they're willing to learn, focus, and take advice from others. So anyway,
100%. I would say that's sort of the main thing I also considered is like, because I'd failed in a lot of stuff. And I got to the point and I was so fed up of failing. Look, everything works, right? Everything does work, those bigger business models, but it requires so much money, which people won't tell you about. And I was just so fed up of burning money and not learning anything. So when I came across this like 3 years ago, it just made so much sense because sure, maybe if you want to invest into a program, right, you'll have to spend a bit. But other than that, there's pretty much zero expenses. Like everything is in your hands. It's literally a clear A, B. Like if you do X and Y in between A and B, you will get to B. It's not like you might not, you might run out of money on the way, you might run out of time, you might this, you might that. It's just like if you do this, you will get there, which was what I also sort of, it appealed to me. I was like, okay, I know I'm hardworking. obviously a lot of people similar to you who work in blue collar know the fuck they are hardworking, right? They like it's a kind of like a no-brainer. It's like, cool, I might sacrifice a bit of, you know, uh, lack of income or maybe something like that in the short term. But if I apply myself, it will be a whole different sort of position I find myself in the near future, which is also what I sort of liked about it when I was looking into it compared to other stuff. It's like, if I do it, I will get it. It's the same as closing as well, to be honest. But yeah, sick, bro. So I guess then, you know, what was your experience during the first 2 to 3 weeks of working with me? You know, just getting started.
So when when I first joined and then I saw the community, at first I was like, whoa, okay, cool. There's a lot going on here. But not once, even though I was amazed at how big it all was and how much there really was there. I was never overwhelmed. You did help out so much with that. You made sure I knew what was going on so that I couldn't stumble about. And yeah, I mean, just being welcomed by the community, immediately fitting in, being surrounded by like-minded people, it made it impossible not to want to win, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. I pretty much ran around telling everyone, girlfriend and all that, just saying, this is this is going to be big for me. I'm telling you, this is going to be big for me.
Yeah.
And I just remember first thing I did is I sat and I just watched videos all day long. I watched all the videos that you had sent me and I was made sure I knew it. I was making notes and all sorts of things. I was extremely keen to learn so much.
Yeah. Awesome.
As the first few team calls went on and we were running through, I had no idea what was going on, but I'm slowly but surely managed to get a hold of it. Being messaged by other team members saying, "Hey, can I help you out?" or "Hey, what can we do here?" Um, a specific team member who actually he was the first guy that reached out to me, and we ended up working together in an offer and just staying very close and in each other's circle, which was fantastic. Starting together with someone and watching us grow into different avenues and different jobs was fantastic.
Yeah. 100%. Awesome, bro. Sick. So, what do you think, apart from sort of sales knowledge, increasing your income, maybe, I don't know, like five, six-fold, what even more, right? Sorry, like 10, nearly tenfold. What has been the one thing you didn't expect you'd learn about yourself doing this?
Um, that's a good question,
Like
but
all the money aside that you're making now, all the knowledge you've gained when it comes to sales, what have you actually like learned about yourself over the, say, last 3, 4 months?
I would definitely say that the main thing that I learned throughout all of this was just how much I wanted to actually help the people that I was setting, without a doubt. Um, some of the stories and stuff I've seen where it no longer became necessarily, well, it all depends on the offer, of course, but
Yeah.
me being on this offer, it changed a lot for me because I was seeing people who really needed help, and then watching their testimonies and seeing the progress they've made. It's just been life-changing in a way that it works as a motivator because sure, you get the money, sure, you're getting comms, whatever, for setting this person, but it's the fact that not only are you winning, so is that guy in a way that is unimaginable. It's been it's been amazing in that regard, being able to change people's lives. Another thing I would say that I've learned about myself is how interested I am in the whole human psychology aspect of sales and really diving deep into it. I mean, 8 months, nearly 8 months into the month, meaning I've been working with Sunil or been in close circle with Sunil since towards the end of February. And just in that time alone, I've been able to, like, just from a single word in a DM, I can immediately tell where this conversation's going to go. Opening mess, okay, this guy's going to close. Or I
Yeah,
know
I
this,
know that feeling when you get so fucking good at appointment setting. Like just off the first response, you're like already know that they're gonna if they're gonna book a call or not.
yeah,
Like you
exactly.
literally know when you've also been on a one singular offer for an extended period of time, you literally know based on their first message whether they're gonna book or if they're not gonna book on a call. But that's amazing. Yeah, that's a really good answer, bro. I threw that question in there because I wanted to see sort of something different. Everyone can talk about the materialistic or the money stuff or the this or the that, but like, what did you actually learn about yourself or about the industry whilst doing it? And that's a great answer. Like, people don't understand. A lot of people get the misconception of this industry for a lot of unethical people, but generally, most of the offers are genuinely like changing people's lives and helping people. Um, Especially like the one you find yourself on. You know what I mean? So yeah, being able to work, make good money, and actually help people is just a fulfilling role to be in. You know what I mean? 100%. Awesome. So sort of we're gonna dive into the last couple of questions. Yeah, I guess what has been your favorite win since joining for yourself? And what has been the main thing about your life that has changed? I know we've covered this already pretty much in the call, just for the sort of to reiterate it.
Cool. So when you say wins, are you referring to like,
Anything, bro. Personal win, anything. Like, what's been your favorite win that you've
oh,
achieved over the last, 4, 5 months?
so probably my favorite win, as I've got many in the past few months, but my favorite was definitely being able to take control of my life.
Yeah.
Be Yeah, I'm entering a stage now. Well, still 20. I'm turning 21 at the end of this year. But probably my favorite part or my best win was being able to take control of my life in the way that I have been able to get an apartment, get back that gym membership, control my life in a way that I become my own boss. And that is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's given me the ability to put pressure on myself where I only have myself to blame. And that is arguably the greatest thing that I could have ever done for myself was put myself in a position where it's just you. You make the rules, you read the rewards, whatever. It's been fantastic. I've and then on the setting sides of wins, I have had moments where I have wanted to work for 24 hours straight after seeing back-to-back $5,000 PIFs. I have had experiences like that where it's been, all right, cool, let's get back to work. That's the one thing about something. As much as you win, it just makes you work more. It's weird. You just work more and more and more the more you win. And that is just so beneficial. It's been amazing. Having moments like that has provided me the chance to completely alter my life. And now I am heading to a stage where for my 21st birthday, I'm going to go overseas, preferably to Thailand, and just have an absolute blast. Go enjoy not only my 21st birthday, but Christmas and New Year's there, and just go enjoy all the hard work.
Yes, sir.
That's
That
all
would be
because of
fucking
setting.
amazing. Sorry,
Yeah.
continue.
I said, and that's all because of setting.
Yeah.
It's given me the chance to do all these things. It wasn't achievable with plumbing, that I can tell you. I could have worked the hardest out of anyone. It's not achievable.
Yeah, for sure. For sure,
But
bro.
what you're able to do and the right things can provide you this, no doubt.
100%. So the last sort of three questions here. But yeah, thanks for sharing that. I guess if someone, well, no, let's take it a step back. What was the type of person you would recommend Setter Syndicate to?
I would recommend it to someone who is, I recommend it to someone who wants to make change. I feel like that's the kind of person that should be on Setter Syndicate. The good thing about being a part of that group and being a part of Setter Syndicate is definitely, even if you're not in, you haven't fully gone over the line when it comes to needing to make change. Being there will make you make change. A lot of a lot of people sometimes just need that push. And whether you need to be in Setter Syndicate to get that push, or whether you've already been pushed and then you come to Setter Syndicate, either way, the best kind of person for Setter Syndicate is definitely someone who needs to make change.
It's a fantastic answer, bro.
Being in that community, you will be, it sounds weird when I phrase it this way, but you're going to be bombarded by people who want to grow with you. People are going to be messaging. I remember when I joined, my notifications were going off, and it was all just like-minded people wanting to help me. It was incredible. It was incredible. So definitely people who want to make change and are tired of working so hard and not seeing the outcome they deserve.
Yeah, it's a fantastic answer, bro. I think regardless of like Setter Syndicate now, generally speaking, those are just the best people to work with as well in anything, especially those people who've already reached that point. Like we all had those points, you know. That's actually a question I should ask on these calls. What was that point? Because we all know, you know what I mean by point. There was a point where things switched up here. Like enough is enough. But 100%, I think if anyone's reaching that point, they haven't hit it yet, already has hit, those are the best people to work with also personally, just from my experience. But sick, bro, like tying into that, if someone's on the fence about working here and joining us, like what would you tell those people?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily tell them something, but I'd ask them why. Because I feel like they themselves need to realize what is holding them back. Because I don't think that one needs to be told necessarily why they should, but they should rather take a step back, look at themselves, and ask themselves, why are you looking to make change there in the first place? And I think once someone really understands that, then they know the answer. I believe that anyone's reason to join Setter Syndicate, besides the next step in making change in their lives, is definitely a personal one. I think it's different for each person. I decided to join Setter Syndicate because I couldn't take the 9 to 5 earning little to nothing on really, really difficult work environments, you know. It wasn't for me anymore. I couldn't do it. It was beating up my body. I was feeling like an old man at 19. That's not at all what I wanted, for myself. So yeah, looking at that question, I would say that everybody's own reason for wanting to join Setter Syndicate is a personal one that they should understand themselves. But yeah, so I'd ask them why, why do you why do you want to make that change? Definitely.
Real sales skills shining through there. That's the real sales skills shining through there. Sick, bro. I guess then what's the future of Luke Watson?
The future of Luke Watson. So pretty much my goal is by the end of the year to be cracking consistent 5 to 10K months, no doubt. And then maybe next year looking at branching into different avenues that stem from setting, maybe looking at getting into a more senior role, whether that be managing other setters or whether that be going into the closing space. Either which way, I am looking at just growing from here. Best part about the online space is that you just don't stop growing, and it is so much fun.
Yeah,
So,
100% for awesome. We can wrap it up there. Great to speak to you, bro. You have honestly, I can't remember. It's been so long since we've been on calls, but I think even just as a speaker, you've improved. Honestly,
thank
like you're like a different person. I was astonished at how incredibly good your answers are just off your feet. Not like in a condescending way, am I saying that? It's genuinely like you've made me think myself about things I haven't thought about yet during this sort of half an hour, whatever it's been. But yeah, 100%, bro. Definitely all in reach, all very realistic, and I have no doubt you'll keep crushing it and honestly exceeding $10,000 a month within the next 5 to whatever 12 months. Very realistic. Awesome, bro. Do you have any last things you want to say?
oh, I think we've covered just about everything, no?
Awesome. All right, everyone. I hope you have a blessed day. That was Luke Watson. And yeah, I look forward to sharing some more stories with you guys. This was definitely an epic one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like. Make sure to follow Luke on Instagram. His Instagram will be in the description below, along with mine. And yeah, feel free to reach out to any of us if you have any questions about anything, even if it's not related to sales. Have an amazing one, and we'll check you guys. Bye.